Bear down, Ryan Poles didn't wait for the draft to end before hunting the open market, and the name floating in from Pittsburgh right now could be the missing weapon Dennis Allen needs to transform this defense. Alex Highsmith, 15.5 sacks over his last 24 games, an 82.0 PFF grade in run defense in 2025, fifth best among all edge rushers in the NFL, and Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports confirmed it. The Steelers are taking calls. But while that move is cooking, there's a familiar name that could be making his way back to Soldier Field to give Caleb Williams the reliable weapon Ben Johnson demands in his system. And by the time you reach the end of this video, you're going to understand why the quietest move of this entire offseason, the one nobody in the Windy City saw coming, might be the smartest bet Poles makes before training camp opens. If you trust the Ryan Poles process, drop a like and hit subscribe. Bear down. Let's keep it a buck. The 2026 NFL draft is over, and the Bears didn't draft a single edge rusher who can step on the field right now and change the game. Not one. 35 sacks, all of last season's second worst pass rush win rate in the entire league, and a run defense that finished bottom 6, and the draft answer was Jordan Vandenberg in round 6. With all due respect to Vandenberg, that does not solve the problem. So right now, the question every Bears fan is asking is the same one. Who is going to generate pressure opposite Montez Sweat? Because look at this roster. Dayo Odeyingbo coming back from a serious injury. Shamar Turner also returning from a serious injury. Between the two of them, they combined for 1 sack in 13 games last season. 1 sack. And Austin Booker had 4.5 in 2025, which is fine for a player still developing, but nobody in their right mind can guarantee you Booker takes that leap in 2026. That's the real picture. Dennis Allen has Montez Sweat as his only confirmed elite pass rusher, and a team that wants to compete seriously in the NFC cannot go into the playoffs with that situation. Now, what's the solution? The name floating around the market that makes all the sense in the world for Chicago is Alex Highsmith of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Highsmith has racked up 15.5 sacks in his last 24 games. Before that, he had 14.5 in 2022, a career high. Yeah, he's dealt with injury issues since 2024. That's why he only played those 24 games over the last 2 years. But listen to this. Before that injury stretch, Highsmith played 16 or more games in each of the previous 4 seasons. This is not a fragile guy by nature. It's circumstantial. And here's the tactical piece that has me obsessed. If the Bears bring him in, he doesn't have to play 60 to 65 snaps a game. Highsmith walks into a rotation with Sweat, Booker, Odeyingbo, and Turner. That smart snap management is exactly what keeps edge rushers healthy. Dennis Allen knows that, Ryan Poles knows that, but there's more, and this is the part that gets overlooked when people only focus on pass rush numbers. Highsmith's PFF run defense grade was 82.0 in 2025. That's 5th best among all edge rushers in the NFL. He hasn't dropped below 73.3 since 2022. For a Bears team that urgently needs to improve their run defense, that's not a bonus, that's a necessity. Charles Robinson at Yahoo Sports reported that the Steelers are going to listen to offers for Highsmith, and one unnamed executive was direct about it. I think they're going to trade one of them. Between Highsmith and Herbig, Pittsburgh has Nick Herbig ready for that role. They're not in a position where they have to hold on to Highsmith at any cost. So the question is, what's the price? The estimate circulating is a 3rd-round pick plus something additional. That's not cheap, but Highsmith has a contract beyond 2026 with an out clause in 2027, which gives the Bears flexibility. You're not buying a 30-year-old on his last deal. You're buying a 28-year-old edge rusher who can be a cornerstone of this defense for 2 seasons. Look, I could be wrong, but if they don't make a move for an impact edge rusher, Dennis Allen is going to end up praying that Booker has the best year of his career. And that's not a strategy, that's hope, and hope doesn't win Super Bowls. And speaking of covering needs at a lower price point, there's another name on the market that, at first glance, looks like a consolation option, but might actually have more value than people think. Hassan Reddick, 32 in September, dropped from 4 straight double-digit sack seasons to 3.5 sacks combined over the last 2 years. He's not the Reddick from 2022. He's not coming in to be the man, but beat reporter Tyler Dragon at USA Today proposed him for Chicago because his 34 pressures in 2025 would have ranked 4th among the Bears' edge rushers that year. That tells you everything you need to know about the state of this position group right now. Is Reddick the ideal solution? No. Is he better than nothing while you wait on the Highsmith trade? Absolutely. At a veteran minimum price on a one-year deal with zero long-term guarantees, it's a calculated risk. But let's be clear. If you're choosing between Highsmith and Reddick, you choose Highsmith without blinking. Okay, let's breathe for a second and talk about something that, if it happens, is going to hit different for Bears fans in a very specific way. Keenan Allen, 6 Pro Bowls, the receiver who came to Chicago in 2024 and became the team's touchdown leader with 7 catches in the end zone, all while battling a heel injury that limited him the entire season. Right now, Allen is still a free agent after playing 2025 with the Chargers on a $3 million deal. In Los Angeles, he put up 81 catches, 777 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Not bad for a man approaching 34. SpotRack projects his market value at $6.8 million for 2026. But there's a very interesting narrative here. The Bears traded DJ Moore to clear cap space and make room for Rome Odunze and Luther Burden III to step into the top offensive roles. That move makes complete sense, but right now, the Bears' WR3 spot is a question mark. Caleb Raymond came over from Detroit on a $3.5 million one-year deal. Jade Walker is on the roster. And in the draft, Ryan Poles selected Xavier Thomas in round 3, a speedster out of LSU who came off the board 2 to 3 rounds earlier than most analysts had projected, which tells you the front office believes in him. But fam, that's a lot of development at a position where the margin for error with Caleb Williams at the center of the system is minimal. Ben Johnson is not the type of coordinator who's going to say, let's see how it goes. He's going to want reliable weapons. That's where Keenan Allen comes back into the picture. The conversation is not whether Allen can be the WR1. That's not on the table. The conversation is whether Allen can be an elite WR3 who extends drives, gains yards after the catch across the first 2 levels of the defense, and has the most reliable hands in the building when you need them most. The answer, even at his age, is yes. And there's something beyond tactics here. It's team psychology. Allen already knows Chicago. Poles already gave up a 4th-round pick to bring him here. The only franchise outside of the Chargers that Allen has ever played for is the Bears. If he's not staying in L.A., Chicago is the logical destination. The price could be negotiated down if Poles can get him in the $3 to $4 million range, with the argument about the current market and the opportunity to play on an ascending team with Caleb Williams under center. That's a deal that makes sense for both sides. Do I love this move? I'm not jumping out of my seat, but I completely understand why it makes sense. And on a team that's building something real at Halas Hall, having Keenan Allen as your WR3 in 2026 while Thomas and Walker develop their games could be exactly what you need to not miss a beat on the road to the playoffs. To close things out today, let's talk about a move that on paper looks small, but could have serious implications for the future of the Bears' backfield. And I'll tell you right now, this is not about 2026. This is about 2027 and beyond. Trey Benson, running back for the Arizona Cardinals, former 3rd-round pick in the 2024 draft, 66th overall, ran the 40 in 4.39 seconds at 216 pounds at the combine. Elite numbers, and he's averaged just under 5 yards per carry in his NFL career. So why is he available? Because Arizona has a backfield problem, the best kind of problem a team can have. They re-signed James Conner. They brought in Tyler Allgeier on a $12.25 million 2-year deal, and with the number 3 overall pick in the 2026 draft, they selected Jeremiah Love, one of the best running back prospects in recent memory. With that landscape, Benson is simply one too many. He doesn't add value on special teams either, which gives Bam Knight an edge over him for active game day spots. Arizona cannot carry 5 running backs. For the Bears, the logic is this. DeAndre Swift enters his contract year in 2026. Kyle Monagai is developing well, but Ben Johnson has made it clear he prefers a committee approach in the backfield. If Swift walks after the 2026 season, the Bears need a quality complement for Monagai. Benson is under contract through 2027 on his rookie deal, which gives the team time to evaluate him without a serious financial commitment. The estimated cost, a sixth-round pick, y'all, for a former third-round selection with size, speed, and real upside. The ceiling is high. The risk is a pick that statistically has less than a 50% chance of making the roster anyway. And while we're talking smart, low-risk additions, before you close this out, I have to mention one more name. Keenan Barnett, offensive lineman out of Wyoming, signed by the Bears as an undrafted free agent with a relative athletic score of 9.54 out of 10. Known as the Vanilla Gorilla, that nickname alone already has me rooting for this guy. He's a player with experience at right tackle and right guard, power in the run game, and the mindset of someone who understands he has to earn every single snap. Bleacher Report and The Athletic already have him as one of the UDFAs with the best realistic shot at making Chicago's 53-man roster. With Dan Rauschar coaching him up, bro, he is in the perfect environment to grow. So that's the full picture today. The Bears have real needs, but they also have real solutions available on the market. Highsmith changes the identity of this defense. Keenan Allen brings experience and reliability to a receiver room still under construction. Trey Benson is a calculated gamble that could pay massive dividends in 2027. And Keenan Barnett is out here quietly getting ready to steal a spot on the 53. Ryan Poles has shown he knows how to build a roster. Now the clock is ticking. Would you pay a third-round pick for Alex Highsmith? That's the question of the day. Drop your answer in the comments below. Leave a like if you ride with Da Bears, and I'll see you in the next one. Bear down.